Hey guys, so you'll notice very quickly that my face is like sliding off to the the middle of the screen, right in between the cut between the two shots here. This is because I am an idiot and didn't realize I was looking at a fucking mirror of myself. So I thought I was being clever and leaning away from the middle of the screen when in fact I was leading right into the void. So I tried my best to fix this to no avail. This is a recording off Skype, which also will explain the kind of crappy video, and occasional failing audio. And for that, I am sorry, and I can only promise to do better next time. But this will be the case for all the videos from this batch that we filmed a couple weeks ago. So again, I'm sorry. Enjoy.
So yeah, this is probably going to be multiple videos.
Yeah,
Uh,
I can already tell.
not nothing wrong with that. It does mean that this video that we're starting right here is probably going to be the most viewed because we're actually talking about JoJo's.
JoJo. Well, actually, if you do make it into 3 videos, I'd like to. You can cut this out, but I do have my renaming part 3 stands list up. So if you'd
Oh,
like to do that,
I can pull that out. So yeah, I have mine. I
I
actually
feel
have
like that.
mine.
I feel like that'd be a good. Yeah,
Oh,
that'd be
hell
a
yeah,
good.
we can do that. Maybe we'll turn into 4 videos. Who knows? Depends on what we do.
Yeah,
But
but I
we
feel
should
like we
that.
should do that now while we have like the day to do it, just as a
Yeah, but you're right. You're right.
to
We
sate
will.
people's JoJo
Yeah.
gluttonous lust.
If I haven't made a JoJo's video in 5 whole months, we must make more content.
Yeah,
It's not like there's a million other people out there making JoJo's content.
I mean, we got to give them the unique content.
Unique. We're John
Unique.
and John, for fuck's sake. Anyway,
I'm a
so
bit
let's talk about
high. Okay, anyways.
let's talk about part 5. Because
Yes.
this is your first time watching part 5.
Yes. It is. This is something I do really appreciate about JoJo. Is JoJo is Araki's golden calf, basically.
Yes.
Um it's the thing he's gonna be remembered for this more so than anything else.
Oh,
And the a lot of things that you'll find with creative types is they'll usually say it's a double-edged sword when you make it big, because they'll be so happy that they got something that reached people, that made them famous, that like did all this other stuff, but then they try and branch out to do other things and no one cares. Like George Lucas, the second he did
Hey,
Star Wars.
hey, Johnny, are you talking about me now? Are you talking about literally what happened to me this whole year?
I mean, dude, this you kind of had to. I'm sorry if you didn't see this coming, but this is a trend. A lot of
I
creative
know.
types will, like
A lot
George
of people
Lucas.
try to.
The second he made Star Wars, like no one cared about anything that didn't do with Star Wars. J.K. Rowling like tried to make an entirely different book series, completely separate from Harry Potter and the Wizarding World and whatever. No one paid attention. So as bad as like people take the Grindelwald movies or these things, at least people are paying attention to them. But
Yeah.
Araki is found like a great way to keep the golden standard, the thing that made him famous,
Oh yes.
and also have creative freedom to do whatever he wants. Because part 5 is so different from everything else
Oh
preceding
my god.
this.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
it's a
So
it's
different.
a it's a Italian gangster movie
It's got like
starring like the what is it? The great uncle of the last protagonist of Josuke. Like
technically.
Josuke never left his town during a murder mystery. Now we're going all around Italy and like potentially other parts of Europe.
No, we never leave Italy.
Oh,
Sadly.
we never leave. Okay. Well,
But we go all over Italy, like
yeah.
all.
Go all over. We're going all over Italy, following gangsters and like doing like Godfather stuff. And after this, it's going to be a part that's completely takes place in a prison. So like,
Yeah, almost completely takes place in prison. They break out, but like, yeah, the
well, yeah,
part
it
the point
almost.
is they take place in prison.
So
It's like
I
different.
that is probably the first, like my first reaction just out of the gate is how much I appreciate that this is very much JoJo, but it's allowed Rocky to more or less completely separate himself. Like Joseph doesn't show up, Jotaro doesn't show up. Like the most okay, he
Cameos.
can, yeah, it's a cameo. Like when Araki wants, he can have the last protagonist be a main supporting character, like he did with Joseph twice. Or if he wants,
Well, he'll do that again for Jotaro in part 6.
Oh yeah, yeah. But if he doesn't want to have a cameo, if he wants to have a completely different group just doing their own thing,
Oh yeah.
Hey, here's Giorno.
Yeah, their connections to the other parts are like very, 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 very minimal. There's the very beginning where you have Jotaro sending Koichi to investigate Giorno, and then Polnareff just shows up at the very end. That's it. That's all you get. And there's the fact that Giorno is the son of fucking Dio, but like that's it. That's the only connection, and there's stands. But like, it's so far removed from everything else. It's amazing.
But wait, isn't he also Jonathan's son?
He is also Jonathan's son.
Genetically. Okay, here's a question: why is he blonde if he's genetically descended from a man with blue hair?
I'd make a joke about Araki not understanding how genetics works, but we're talking about a guy who's all vampire because a vampire head stuck onto a human corpse and just took over the whole thing. Yeah. We're not sure how that works exactly. Maybe genetically Dio sort of like overwrites Jonathan's code. But like I don't know.
I'm sure there's probably like pages of essays people have done.
His other children aren't blonde, so like it's really just Giorno.
There's probably essays that have been written debating one side or the other on this, but
hold on, actually I have to look this up. Actually, is Donatello blonde?
While you're looking that up, I will say in terms of the dub, in terms of like the voice, since I have no point of reference for like the sub. I will say Narcissa sounds exactly like I thought he would.
Yeah, Narancia.
Narancia, yeah.
Yeah, Narcissus is a different character entirely.
Okay.
Yeah, and also, yes, I was 100% wrong. Donatello is blonde. I know Ungalo isn't, right? That's how you pronounce his name. Is Rikel blonde? No, Rikel's fucking pink hair. Yeah, it's half his children are blonde. That's really weird. I never thought about this before. So anyway, you were talking about Narancia's voice.
Yeah, it fits him. Like I can hear Rigby in him sometimes, but other than that, like
no, yeah, I agree. Narancia has a very good voice for the English dub. I'm for it. We should probably go through the characters one by one in terms of just the voice. Giorno's voice works because, like Giorno himself, he's very generic.
Yeah, there's nothing like. Giorno's not very interesting so far, not from what I've seen.
He doesn't get a whole lot more interesting. To all the Giorno fans, I'm sorry. This is an opinion held by people, a lot of people, and including people who are not big JoJo's fans. Giorno is really the least interesting of the protagonists, even compared to like Jonathan, who is just, big, burly, I will save everyone. But like Giorno feels like a background character in a lot of times, which is a little sad considering this is supposed to be his story. And it does hurt. I feel like it does hurt the climax a little bit when it's like, oh, it's down to Giorno. It's Giorno's story. And it's like, has it though?
I mean, I still like him more than I like Jonathan so far. So
yeah, I think that'll continue for you. I just have that
because I don't like Jonathan.
Yeah, I know. Maybe we'll talk about that later. Bruno's voice. I gotta say, I'm actually very attached to Bruno's English
Yeah, I
voice actor.
remember when you first said it, you said you were on the fence about it.
I was hesitant because I mean, in the first episode, he only gets like 10 lines. Uh, it's too small to really make an opinion. But by the second episode, I'm on board with his voice actor. I think it's a good version of it. I prefer the Japanese. I think the Japanese version sounds a little cooler.
I
But we
think what your
wait till
fear
Ari-
I think what
Ari.
your fear might have been was in part 2 there were these huge burly men who had like these such high voices
Yeah,
that you
yeah,
like were worried that anything attached to Italy was gonna be
yeah.
high pitched. But no, like I think every member of Team Bacardi, um,
Bucciarati.
Bucciarati, I'm terrible at names. I'm sorry.
Bucardi is a different character. Nah, I don't. There's no character named Bucardi yet.
Okay,
Cool.
everyone,
Rocky. Seriously, make a character named Bucardi.
every member of Team Bucciarati has very like bass voice.
Yeah, and that's the case in the Japanese too, except for Narancia, who's like the more high pitched one, because he's like the small, like
He's like 17, right?
yeah, he's older than Giorno, like that's just a fact. Uh, but he's like the high strung, like I'm gonna cut the shit out of you just because kind of guy. Which you saw the most recent episode, right?
Yes, I did.
Good, because that's going to be important for a little bit. I mean, he's very much he has two modes: uber chill or about to stab a bitch. Like that's
Yeah.
there's no in between for Narancia, and that's one of the reasons I love him. I mean, I guess we just go in order that their stands get revealed. Abakio.
Abacchio.
I I like his English storytelling. I think it fits. It fits with his very cool, gritty ex cop feel that he is. He is an ex cop. Uh,
I have
he
I have,
does.
I
He's
have to
solid.
say he has a surprisingly deep voice for someone who wears lipstick.
He does wear very fashionable lipstick at
Yeah.
all times.
Can I also say this might be a quick digression,
Yeah.
but I love how they've made it so that when stand users activate stands, like I wish they did it more where they say something cool, like when he goes Moody Jazz, let's jam. Like was it? Yeah, like let's jam, something
Let's
like that.
jam.
Yeah, I
I
wish they do that
yeah
stuff.
yeah they should. Uh, Moody Blues. Let's jam. It's cool. I mean, but Abakio doesn't really do that a whole lot, sadly.
Mm-hmm.
It's just it's a one-time thing. We got Mista, who
Nista.
is I think without a doubt probably like the most popular of Team Bucciolotti. Like
He has a weird hat. I
he does
can't
have
get
a
over how stupid his hat
stupid
looks.
hat. Oh, he's got a dumb hat. He's got a dumb hat and a belly shirt. Like that's his design. He chose to
Polnareff,
dress
he is not. Polnareff, he is not.
no, but Narancia has like the same thing that Polnareff wears. The fucking like 1950s wrestler style
Yeah,
is just dumb. And then there's Fugo. I
Fugo,
could stop there.
who has whole. He looks like he's wearing Charlie Brown's ghost costume. It's got all the holes just
Got all the holes
clipped
all
into
over him.
his.
Fugo's costume is weird. Again, you look at most of these characters in part 5, and I'd say in all of part 5 and onward, you look at most of these characters and you just go, you chose to dress like that? Like really?
Yeah,
What's wrong with you? Like I don't know. I think the most normal dressing amongst all of them is like Abakio, but he's got that weird like lace thing going on there.
I mean, but it's. I think it's a tie between him and Giorno, really. Like
Yeah, Char's
realistically,
got a giant heart in
I
his
mean, yeah,
shirt.
but like that's you can always like claim, uh, well, like
can do
with the
this, you know?
yeah no or with the pink scheme, like it's supposed to be something about love or whatever.
But in the manga, the colored manga, his outfit is blue.
Well, then Never mind.
I don't know why they changed it to pink. Honestly, I think I've heard the reason was because it like blended too much with Abacchio. I don't know. That's the reason I heard. I mean, someone in the comments, please tell me if there's a better reason that you've heard of, because that's something I heard of, and I'm not really sure if that's true.
Yeah.
Uh, but it does make him stand out now that he's got the full pink getup. He does look different from everyone else.
Yeah.
So, that's all right. Uh, but we also this episode we finally got to meet Trish. Trish is
Trish.
in. Now we have everyone that's going to be a main character.
So Trish is the MacGuffin.
She is. She literally is the MacGuffin. Yeah, everyone wants to have her, which is definitely gross because she's 15. So, what do you think of Trish so far? I kind of expected this.
Is it wrong to say she kind of makes me want Team JoJo to lose?
No, but I mean, a little bit. I mean, you're not supposed to want her to die, which is definitely what everyone wants to do to her. Everyone wants it to kill her.
I mean, at this rate, I think I'm on the boss's side.
I mean, do you know what the boss wants with her? Did I tell you this? I don't remember.
I don't. Considering no, I don't know what the point of having her around is. Considering.
Oh, I
this
mean,
whole-
what do you think the boss wants with her? It's his daughter.
I mean, I have two ideas.
All right, let's hear him.
The first one, much more creepy idea, is he wants to marry her because he has this like ancient Egyptian mindset of keeping a bloodline pure because he's the boss. He's like such
The
a
boss.
and like this like from what I've seen of him so far, or what I've heard of him so far is like he's super secretive. He like always tells his subordinates or whatever to like he likes being in charge. He likes doing crimes.
He is very secretive. Most members of Passione don't even know what he looks like,
Yeah,
if any.
so I think like it's gonna be revealed Trish is not even. Wait, no. No, yeah, it's gonna be revealed Trisha's mom is dead, and like he wants to have a son to take over his place as the boss, and so the only way he can do that while keeping it pure is by
Mm.
and
Yeah.
alternatively, alternatively, in the name of his secrecy, he's gonna be like, she saw me when she was a baby. She knows what I look like. Time to fucking kill her.
All right. Well, everyone's gonna yell at me for spoilers now. He does not want to sleep with his daughter.
Okay, so I
Not something he
respect
wants to
him
do.
a little bit. I can respect him a little bit.
Don't not heavily into the incest. We went the incest route exactly once in this series, and we stepped away from it ever since. I mean, Joseph totally wanted to bang his mom before he knew she was his mom.
Joedipus Rex. Part 2, Joedipus Rex.
Part 2, Joedipus Rex. Let's rename it that. Thank you.
I've got names for all 8 parts. I can rename all 8 parts to be way more truthful.
Let's do that in a bit.
All right.
Hello. Welcome to the podcast.
Yes. Anyways.
You are close with he does want to kill her. It's not for the reason that you said, but it is close.
Okay. This is something else I feel I should get out there. This was another thing that came up in the comments a lot with your Part 5 videos. Is the thing about spoilers.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna reassure everyone. I have a very Greek view of entertainment. The Greeks would always tell you the plot and the ending of a story from the get-go. So since I used Oedipus Rex, in Oedipus Rex, the
Yes.
chorus flat out says, yes, Oedipus killed his dad and fucked his mom. So the fact that the entire play is literally just Oedipus, like, following one lead, getting a dead end, and like being reassured, but then getting a new lead and having to follow that was kind of irrelevant because you already knew what the answer was. And yet it was very entertaining and it was still good to watch. So for me, I kind of don't care about. It's not that I don't feel like I lose anything when I get spoiled on the names or the abilities or any of the plot threads, with any of the stands or any of the stuff, because that's just not how I kind of view entertainment. So a lot of people said they were disappointed that I got spoiled on stands or I got spoiled on plot points later on. Well, the truth is, I didn't mind. I wouldn't have agreed to the videos if I had like a desire or need to avoid spoilers, because I feel I still am greatly entertained by watching how the spoiler plays out. Like I was still at the edge of my seat on battles that involved like let's see, what were some of the stands we had? The Hangman. I was still at the edge of my seat, knowing what the Hangman could do, even though like that was a big part of that 2-part episode was figuring out what he did. I was still like greatly entertained by the whole horse and centerfold fight.
So and going off that, I do love surprise. That's what keeps me invested in art. But like I knew what the plot of like say part 3 was before I started it. I knew exactly what was going to happen because someone told me about it. And I still love part 3. I still enjoy the hell out of it. And it's still an extremely entertaining ride, even though I knew pretty much everything that was going to happen. Though, so reinvigorated, I'm going to tell you what the whole thing is. It's that she can, like, it's very poorly explained. She can, like, sense where he is and who he is. So she can figure out who he is, his identity, and therefore he's afraid that someone is going to use that to assassinate him. So that's the whole fear of her and why he wants her dead. So he's entrusting her life to, originally to Pericolo, and then it was supposed to be to Polpo, but now Polpo, accidentally blew his head off. So now it's Bucciolati's team's turn to take care of.
He tried to eat a banana. He ended up eating a bullet.
The man just wanted a banana and he ate a gun by accident. Oops.
He just wanted to sleep on the floor disguised as a bed.
There's a line in the episode. I just rewatched the episode today. It's like, oh man, they couldn't fit his fat ass into the incinerator. You think they'll have to chop up his body? And I was sitting there like, isn't he like super elastic? I think that's gonna be kind of difficult to chop up his body.
No, you just gotta like shove him through the doorway like he's Majin Buu. Just gotta like
squish him together into a package. Burn. Yeah, I'd hate to be the fucking coroner working on Polpo's body. That must suck. Oh my god. But yeah, so speaking of this episode, you got to meet who, so the boss is like the main antagonist of part 5.
Yeah,
but before,
he has a D, I, and an O in his name. That's how you know that.
That's right. Every single villain has a D, an I, and an O, like Cars and Poochie and Valentine.
Yes. Just like Josuke Higashikata can be shortened to JoJo.
It's a Japanese joke. You wouldn't understand.
Understand this.
It's a super niche, like, kanji joke. It's like, hey, you can read this line like 2 different ways, and one of them says Joe. I'm gonna call you JoJo. Like, Okay, that's a push. That's stretching it a little too far. Oh my god. And he uses that exact name twice. Because Gappy's his name is Josuke Higashikata. Actually, it's not his name, but he gets given that name. Gappy doesn't know anything about himself, not even his fucking name.
I don't know who Gappy is because I haven't gotten to whatever part you're talking about.
That's part 8. Part 8, the search for memories. Because he ain't got no memories. He woke up, he was 2 men, now he's 1 man. Now he's like, who the fuck am I?
Anyways, back to Diavolo because we were trying to talk about Diavolo.
So Diavolo is like the main villain, but until we actually properly meet Diavolo, roughly halfway through, our main villains are going to be the guys that you just met in this episode, which they are Le Squadra. Le Squadra Executioner? I don't know how to pronounce it.
The
Basically, it's
Executioner Squad.
Yeah, seriously. They were a squad of just assassins for Passione. They were just their job was just kill people. So all their stands are used specifically for murder. And
Okay.
today you met Formaggio, the first member of La Squadra that we get to meet, and his stand.
He sounds like a cheese.
Oh yeah, everyone's named after food in this part.
Why?
They're all named after food in Italian. Let me just bring up the list here. Abbacchio, Narancia. Narancia literally just means orange. Panna cotta fugo. Oh, I believe means like chicken or meat. Sale is, Maggio. Pesci is fish. Prosciutto is another character. Like it's just food. Carne. But we met Formaggio.
Okay.
We got the beginnings of the introduction of Little Feet. His stand Little Feet. Or as the dub turned it into Tiny Feet.
These dub names are garbage.
All things considered, okay, considering this is also the episode that introduced Aerosmith as Little Bomber, I'll take Tiny Feet, okay?
I'm still mostly depressed that Sex Pistols got changed into Six Bullets.
6 bullets.
Because what they should have done is just like towed the line with their localization requirements and just called themselves Six Pistols.
Yeah, 6 pistols would have been better because he does normally just call them pistols.
Mm-hmm.
He shortens it when he's talking to the individual ones. Well, I mean, he shortens it to just their number when he's talking to an individual one. But yeah, everyone goes, bring back pistols. Don't send them so far out. And then he gets shot in the head again. Fucking Mista, stupid idiot. You get to see him shoot himself constantly because he's dumb.
Look, you can't be a Joe bro unless you're a moron.
But like, Kakyoin.
You can't be a Joe bro unless you're a moron.
Honestly, okay, so that I've made this argument in the comments. The tie for Joe Bro in part 5, it's always been a tie for me between Bucciolati and Mista. And I think Mista only gets the edge because Mista lives through the end. And also because he and Giorno actually get more scenes together as they go.
Okay, yeah, that is an important. That would be an important aspect.
Those two tend to like party up more than the other groups do. When Bruno gets in a fight, it's usually just him alone kicking ass because he's Bruno Bucciolati, motherfucker, and you don't mess with the Zipper Man, better known as Sticky Fingers.
Okay, here's a question. Why doesn't the boss just command Team JoJo to kill Trish?
See, great question. So moving on.
Okay.
Yeah, there's no reason. I don't know why he didn't do that. He could have saved himself a lot of heartache. I think it's like he wanted to do it himself, but like I don't know why. Yeah, I don't know. He could have.
Great
He could have.
pride begets a great fall, apparently.
I mean, he could have told Pericolo to just kill the girl, and Pericolo would have done it. By the way, for those of you not watching the dub, look out for Pericolo's English voice. It's perfect. For such a minor character like Pericolo, they gave him such a great voice. I'm gonna put up a clip right now just so people can hear it. Because I think that's great.
I've come all the way here for the 10 billion lira. Bucciarati.
Okay.
That's a good voice for a minor ass character. God damn. So we've hit the I like to say that the episode that we watched this week is the end of the first act of part 5 because all the inciting incidents have happened. Giorno has joined the group. He's killed Popo, so now Bucciarati is a capo, and the final bit is they've got their first mission. They got Trish.
Yeah.
So now all the pieces are in place for the second act to start, which starts officially with Narancha's fight with Formaggio.
All right then. And
Little Feet. So Little Feet, I fucking love Little Feet. I don't think he gets enough credit. He shrinks things. He's got that big old finger. And if he hits you with the finger, you shrink. You shrink very slowly, but you shrink very small. And it shrinks everything connected to you. All of your clothes, for some reason. Your stand shrinks. So that's cool.
I thought stands could shrink by themselves, just naturally.
Yep. But that's something that hasn't been done since part 3.
Since the lovers fight.
So
you know how they should fix it?
how?
They gotta turn the belt upside down. Make it W for Wumbo.
The Wumbo belt.
Wumbology?
The study of Wumbo? We're hip. We're in our 20s.
Look, I was a
We
kid when that episode
SpongeBob.
aired. I was a kid when that episode aired. I
Yes.
am hip. And SpongeBob is totally hip with the kids. Have you seen all the put up all the memes of SpongeBob right now? Just
Here's literally every SpongeBob meme ever made. Oh god, I've overloaded the screen. It's just too much. It just keeps coming. It's still going. Oh god.
have fun editing. Have fun editing.
I'm gonna be editing literally all day tomorrow. I'm gonna have fun with this. So yeah, but the thing about Little Feet, a lot of people say, "Oh, it's lame. It just shrinks things." But like, people forget that he shrinks himself instantly.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only reason he was able to survive Aerosmith's first assault, because like, he drops a fucking bomb on that guy. You see it happen. It's like, ching! Oh fuck, and it blows up. The whole car it just explodes right there, and Formaggio uses Little Feet on himself to shrink instantly and get the fuck out of there. So on himself he shrinks instantly, but on everything else it shrinks slowly. So like, all right, sure, figuring that one out. Limitations, I guess.
Unique.
I love his deduction that he figures out that they're holding Trish because he sees some stockings in the car. It's just like, why is he buying stockings? It couldn't possibly be that he has a girlfriend and he's just buying his girlfriend some stockings for her.
Is that going to become like a thing since there's only one girl in this entire group that like they're literally just going to keep getting found because the Trish asked for something and all of the antagonists are just like, what are you doing with that girly thing, you flamboyant?
You're doing with a box of tampons. What are you, a girl?
What are you doing with that pink clothing on your body?
What are you, a woman? No, I just dress like this. Are you a woman?
Not even joking. I thought like half of the team Bucciolari were women, just because.
Oh,
of how they
I
dress.
had no idea about Narancia for so long. I was looking at Narancia and I was like, but it could go either way. It really could. He is so androgynous. He really
Yeah.
is. But nah, he's pretty masculine. That's what he likes to call himself.
Mm.
But no, nah, they don't. I wish it was the case that they're like Trish keeps asking for like very specific things, and people are like, "That's a girl's thing. You're not a girl. That you must be holding someone." But no, it's just this fight, but everything else is just that La Squadra is like just one step behind them, and they're able to figure out where they're going because they smart. Yeah, because it really they don't treat their antagonists as dumb in this part, especially. Like I think part one, oh sorry, not part one, part three. Most of Dio's like minions are like they're just kind of dumb, ain't they? They're just
They
there to
are.
just have cool fights, and that's it. Part four, they had more personality, but like they're not very competent either. Part five is where you start getting like really competent villains.
Because
Uh,
they all had to survive the initiation.
yeah, they're all
But I guess
mobsters,
Black Sabbath.
and especially La Squadra. I think there's not a single fight with any member of La Squadra that isn't great.
Mm.
Like they're all super fun and they're all super intense. I think the one that's like the least intense is like the babyface fight,
Mhm.
but that's only because stand and user are like so far separated in that fight. Like they're just barely connected at all. And it's mostly just Melon just typing on a computer, which is the stand itself.
Yeah.
Babyface is that's an odd stand. That's I don't know on that one. That's a weird one. And that's like talking about JoJo's weird. And then there's Babyface. It's like how did it get weirder? How did you do this?
Well, you want to talk about even weirder? How did like Araki decide to figure out like a initiation, like a hazing initiation, where Giorno had to drink a glass of pee, and he decides to fix it by turning one of his teeth into a jellyfish to absorb the pee.
It's genius, is what it is. Oh, what a boss! Yeah, Araki comes up with some damn weird things. Have you seen the the mozzarella song?
Mozzarella. No. We're in
Something from part
Italy.
something from part 7. Gyro
Oh.
Zappelli, like I don't. Please, someone correct me on the context. I don't remember the context, but he and Johnny are just sitting around the campfire, just talking about food, and he's like, you know what's good? Pizza. And then he just starts talking, just singing pizza, mozzarella, mozzarella, pizza. It's like
Pizza mozzarella, pizza mozzarella. Lilla 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 lilla.
where the fuck did this come from?
I
But
love
it's
when
amazing.
I love when the Japanese try and write people of different cultures. Because they always get so wrong in such great ways.
Araki must think Italian culture is amazing because he writes so many Italian characters, but they're all just uber weird and like kind of stereotypical at the same time. Like part 5 is like the least stereotypical of his Italian characters,
Mhm.
which is all Italian. So yeah, thank God for that. Like they're still like they're all like, oh, now's the time to eat. We gotta do a big old meal. And they just sit down and have a meal. Like fucking Sex Pistols first reveal. It's like now we gotta have lunch now. Lunch is the time for lunch. We're doing lunch now. It's like all right, I guess we're doing this now. Good old cliche. Oh my god. There's one thing. All right, so I said this when we were watching part 2 dub. I was very scared about part 5 because it was taking place in Italy and everyone's Italian. Because the
You were
part
afraid of the Caesar accents coming back.
Sir Zappelli in the dub, quick clip.
How moan as weak as yours couldn't pluck the petals off this delicate flower?
Has just the most stereotypical "It's a me, Italiano" accent of all time. It's like, why? Why do you do this, dub? And
Ah,
I was thinking,
signorina. I shall
And
use
so-
hamon.
it's horrible, but funny at the same time, but horrible if you try and take it seriously, which is why it's almost impossible to cry during Caesar's death in the dub. But, like,
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
the least tragic thing I've ever seen.
oh my god, that's it's horrible. They ruined that so badly. So, going into part 5, I was like, oh my god, please, please don't do this again, Viz. I really can't stand this a second time, especially if every character is going to be like this. And then we go in, and it's not. Not every character is going for an accent, which is good, very good. But they've compensated for this in the weirdest way. They'll just drop Italian words for no reason. Like my favorite one, they always say the two words they always replace is the familia. Always say the familia, and they always replace bastard with bastardo every single time. And it's still funny every single time.
They're basically just characters from Assassin's Creed 2.
Oh my god, yes.
They just talk normally, and then every now and again they'll go like,
Oh, I'm Italian. I'm supposed to be speaking Italian.
"All right, resquiescat in pace."
Like, yeah, seriously, what the hell? It's so random. Now, this is something that they did in the part 3 dub as well. Polnareff will just randomly say French words. Like, it happens a couple times in the sub and in the manga, but not that often. And then all of a sudden in the dub, it's like all the time. It is literally in every single episode he's in. He says something French at some point. And then just thinking about the part 5. Part 5 does use like Italian words occasionally, like when they feel it's necessary, but not very often. And then the part 5 dub is like, well, fucking always. And I just find that very interesting. And you don't really notice it that often in part 3 because it's literally only Polnareff that ever does it. Like you don't see like Avdol randomly saying an Arab word every once in a while, which he should be. Polnareff's speaking French. I mean, why isn't Avdol speaking Arabic? I'm just saying.
How do these people from like 4 different countries? I always just assumed they were all speaking Japanese because Kakyoin and Jotaro never say anything in Japanese.
Well, it's always hilarious to watch in Japanese, but everyone is speaking Japanese, and you're just like, oh, where did this French guy learn Japanese? Just out of nowhere. I speak fluent Japanese. Huh, interesting. How did you do? Like,
also, where did these Englishmen and everyone in Cairo learn how to speak Japanese?
Oh, weird. Every man in Cairo is speaking Japanese. Very weird. We can understand everyone. I mean, like, I can understand Joseph learning Japanese. I mean, his daughter did, become a Japanese.
Even though he hates the Japanese.
Yeah, but like, he's got to communicate with his daughter's husband. Like,
does he though? He can be one of those like father-in-laws who like.
Actually, I say this, but we never see Holly's husband ever.
You never see Jotaro's dad, so.
I always love every Joestar has daddy issues of some kind, and we always go to.
I mean, Joseph doesn't. Joseph doesn't really have daddy issues.
He doesn't have a dad.
Yeah, but that's different. That's different from having like daddy issues.
Well, I mean, but we always do the same thing with Jotaro. Like, Jotaro has a dad, but the picture of his always just does not exist.
But he's never there.
He's probably, he's supposed to be a world-famous musician, so I assume he's just never home, and he's just off playing the violin. He's a violinist, I believe, right? Someone's going to correct me. I'm going to correct myself if I can figure it out. But yeah. No, he never. No one comes close to fucking Johnny. Johnny Joestar has the worst daddy issues. His father literally, Johnny's brother dies, and his father literally says the wrong son died. Like, oh my god, dude! Yikes!
That is brutal. I thought that Josuke had the worst daddy issue. That is brutal.
Well, I mean, okay, so Johnny's definitely number one in terms of daddy issues. I say Jolene is number two because Jolene is born before part 4.
What? Okay.
So like, her dad just fucking left to go deal with some other kid. Like
To go deal with his uncle,
to go deal with his uncle,
who is younger than him,
and he just ditches. Like, wow, dude.
Whew.
I gotta say, Jolene's mom, insane amount of patience. That woman. How the fuck did she manage?
No idea, because I haven't met her yet.
She's barely in part 6. It doesn't matter. She's in it, I think, like once or twice. She's definitely in the beginning, where she's sees her own daughter go off to prison.
Oh,
whoops! Wonderful. What a good way to start. Jolene is literally sent to prison for a crime she didn't commit. That's amazing. She literally forms a fucking A team because of that. Yeah, seriously. Well, I mean, what? Okay, so Hermes didn't really do it either.
We should probably start talking about part 5 again.
Sorry, yeah,
I
got completely lost. I'll think about this some other time. Yeah, part 5. You're starting with this fight that has just started. You're in for some bloody fights. You get some knockout, dragged on, fucking to the death fights.
Nice.
Like a lot of the fights in part 3 and part 4, a lot of the villains don't actually die. Like they get knocked the fuck out,
and like it says, they retired.
They get retired, but they're not dead. Like only a few villains really die in the earlier parts. And in part 5, I mean, you see Zuccarello and Saleh. They're in the bow of the boat, tied up. Mm-hmm. They're not dead. They actually appear in Purple Haze feedback. Interesting story. Oh. They show up again, just not in the main part. Oh. But starting from here on out, bodies are gonna be dropping. People are gonna fucking die in this show. Like, Formaggio fight, that is harsh, man. The fight coming after it, holy crap. It's amazing more people didn't die. And then the fight after that, I'm pretty sure a whole half a train worth of people fucking get expired during that fight. They derail a whole train.
Yikes.
No, they don't. They stop a train, but they almost kill everyone on board. It's intense. That is, oh my god, I can't wait for you to do the fucking Pesci and prosciutto fight. It's so good. Yikes. Oh my god. Oh, it's one of the best fights in anime history, in my opinion. And it didn't get nominated for an anime award, but fucking Doppio versus Risotto Nero did. God damn. No, don't get me wrong. That's a great fight. Doppio versus Risotto Nero is great.
But you're still salty.
But it's not Missa and Bucciolati versus Pesci and prosciutto. It's just not. It's just not. It's got no ari 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 at the end. That's how you know it's a good fight, when it's got the ari ari ari. That's the best stand cry ever. Ari ari ari. So he knocks him up in the air, punches all the fucking the usual punch barrage, but he gets ari 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 instead of ari or muna, and then he ends it up by going arrivederci, and he goes fucking flying. Oh, it's beautiful.
That sounds pretty sick.
Oh, it's beautiful. And Narancia kind of steals it later on. He turns into Vola Vola Vola.
So that's not cool.
No, but he's Vola 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 Volare V, which is fly away. which is kind of ironic because he's shooting a man with his plane.
Yeah, still not as cool.
Well, you finally got to see Aerosmith do some stuff.
Yeah.
So I love Little Bomber. Fucking disgusting. You finally got to see the plane.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of underwhelming. Like Worst Company felt more interesting as a stand.
I mean, Bad Company is pretty unique. It's just like a bunch of soldiers and shit.
Well, I mean, no, there were helicopters too. Like,
Yeah.
it kind of felt like Bad Company had everything Aerosmith has and more.
Nah, it has one thing Aerosmith don't. It has one thing. Aerosmith has one thing that Bad Company don't. That's the sentence. Aerosmith's got a carbon dioxide detector.
Is that going to come in useful?
Oh, constantly.
Okay, then.
Narancia is going to be used as like a radar to like figure out where people are. Like that's his job. He sits there. It gives him a little visor. It's so cute. And he's just looking for carbon dioxide. Which is just breathing. Is this person breathing? Are they alive? Okay, keep shooting them. That's the steps he takes. Is this person breathing? That means they're alive. Shoot more.
Shoot.
Dead.
Shoot until they die.
That's what he does. He shoots people. He's got two. He's got two knives. He's just got knives for days. He just keeps pulling out knives.
Unlimited blade works.
Oh God, don't make me talk about Fate. No.
Okay, no, I won't. We won't talk about Fate. Is there anything else you really want to talk about Part 5?
I mentioned Pericolo, and that was like the thing that I really wanted to say because I don't think it's getting talked about enough. Because Pericolo is like the minorest of minor characters, and he gets like the best voice.
Mm.
It's so fitting for him. He ain't gonna be around for much longer, sadly.
What a shame.
What a shame. Poor old man. We love Pericolo. He's a nice old man. He does nothing. We're coming up on some cool stuff. We're coming up on the turtle.
The turtle?
Very important. Very important part for part 5, the turtle.
Is it a stand user?
Yes, turtle stand. Turtle has got stand.
Okay, so a turtle is now has more fighting spirit than Holly Cujo did.
Yes. A turtle has more fighting power than Holly Cujo ever did. Canonical fact.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, turtle stand isn't really like. It's not very complicated. It just has a room inside a key that you put onto the turtle. That's it. That's the whole thing.
That's confusing. I want to see it in action if I'm going to understand it at all.
It's basically like a mobile headquarters, but the mobility is a turtle.
Okay.
Yeah. But it's got no bathroom. That's an important part. It's got no bathroom.
Well, good thing Polnareff isn't there, otherwise he'd lose his mind.
Yes, he'd be very angry. Oh, actually, that's so funny that you mentioned it because he literally becomes the turtle.
Oh no, he's gonna live the rest of his life without a toilet.
No, but he is the turtle. Like, he's literally the turtle. He doesn't go into the stand. He's the turtle.
Oh.
Oh, the ending to part 5 is so weird. Fucking Silver Chariot Requiem ruining everything.
Well then.
Yes. All right. So, do you have anything else to say about part 5?
I mean, me personally.